Hello, it's been a while. I filmed this once before, it did not work. So here I am again doing a wedding guest makeup trial run. I am not in the wedding, so nobody cares what I look like except for my husband. I feel like he'll appreciate seeing me all dressed up, but my usual makeup look is only designed to last a couple of hours. So I needed some practice. I needed to make sure I could still do eyeshadow because I don't really do eyeshadow involved looks anymore. And I also wanted to try some products that were fuller coverage because at a wedding there's photography, there's videography, and you can have a full face of makeup on and someone take a picture of you and it looks like you showed up with nothing. I'm gonna link everything in the description box, including the dress. Hopefully it's still in stock because it was marked down. If you have a similar shape as me, I think you would love this dress. I have short legs, a long torso, kind of a rounded midsection, and it's perfection. And that's a lot coming from me because you know I don't own one dress or one skirt until now because dresses are so hard for me. Okay, let's go. I always like to start my face off by doing a little bit of preliminary brow work. I always use the ABH Brow Freeze. I'm just gonna take a spoolie and I kind of do a laminated effect, but then I let it set, do the rest of my face, fill it in, and I will brush it down so it doesn't look too wild. My first go at this makeup look, I thought I liked it, but I tried a new technique and all this stuff, and as I was editing the video, because I fully edited the video, I was getting ready to post it, but the more I looked at my makeup in the mirror and in the video, I like my other way better, my usual way. So I'm just gonna use fuller coverage product to make it last a little bit longer. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier, but not as heavy as that smoky eye because it made me look tired. I wanna look fresh. I did really like this primer. It's the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer. It smells lightly of coconut and it feels like you're drenching your face in water. But this is supposed to hydrate and mattify and blur pores. Oh my gosh, and it just smells like summer. Also, I'm gonna prime my eyes with an actual eyeshadow primer. I typically just use concealer. This stuff is awesome. It's called the Thank Me Later eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna go in with a thin layer of powder. This is my Colé Skin Melt powder. I have the shade Translucent. Even though it sets down to a really nice soft feel, there's a little bit of tackiness, which I do know people like to go straight in because the tackiness is what kind of binds the shadow to the lid. I'm not that much of a pro. I prefer it to be fully set, smooth, dry, ready for eyeshadow. This brush, I've had this brush forever. It was from TJ Maxx, random. I don't think it even has a number or anything. It's just a random brush, but I love it for this. Let me drink this before it gets too late. Yesterday, I used my Natasha Denona Zendo palette. Oh, that's very reflective. Doesn't this just feel like summer? I remember doing a full review on this palette on my channel. I think I took that video down. I'm not using the crazy shades, but I do love this one down here, this kind of orangey salmon shade. But yeah, because I just feel like on me, things that lean a little warm, lean a little peachy, tend to look best. And I think I'm also gonna wear the lipstick that I wore on my wedding day. It doesn't exist anymore, so I'm never gonna use the whole thing. I'm probably gonna keep a tiny little chunk forever, just because I wore it on my wedding day. With a Smith 247, I'm gonna go straight for the dark chocolate brown. I'm gonna put a little on the back of my hand. I'm gonna go right in the crease. I'm creating a little bit of a V shape, pulling it in on the outer corner. My oldest nephew is the one getting married, and the bride I've also known since she was a kid. I used to babysit her. So the mother of the bride and I are tag teaming her makeup because she did have a trial run. She just wasn't 100% happy with it. She called me and she was a little upset. So I said, of course, please cancel her. You're the bride. You need to be happy, especially with this. You need to be happy with what your face looks like on your wedding day. Now I'm gonna go into Bounce. It's this beautiful sandy shade. I'm gonna use that to blend this out. I think I'm just gonna put it right on top as well. So I'm kind of involved in the wedding in that way. And then my sister, who is obviously the mother of the groom, she and the rest of the girls are getting a spray tan and they invited me. At first I wasn't sure because I'm pretty good at doing a self-tan at home. But when I saw the bride spray tan for her bridal portraits, it was beautiful and flawless. So I think I'm gonna get one. So if my foundation is 3 shades darker on me than my chest, that's why. I'm gonna take a clean blending brush. This is a BK Beauty 202. With my ring finger, I'm gonna take Calm. Scratch that. I just realized there's a very similar shade, but even more beautiful because it's sparkly or shimmery or metallic. I'm not sure what it is, but it's this one right here. I believe it's called Aura. Yes, Aura. So I'm gonna take that on my ring finger. For the first go around, I did a brown smoky eye, but it wasn't really chocolate. It was more neutral cool, and it just felt too harsh. So I like the warmth in this. On top, I'm gonna try Yama. I think this has a little bit of a shift, like a coral and a green shift maybe. I feel like it'll neutralize it a little bit. Clean up this edge. So I am gonna use the cream shade in the Tati palette to blend this a little bit more because the cream shade is almost like an eraser shade. I'm also gonna use the brown. I don't know if I wanna do black or brown, but I do wanna push a little bit of shadow into my lash line just to emphasize the lashes a little bit. I don't wanna do a full-on eyeliner look because I did my eyeliner way too high in the first go and it looked crazy. I have deep set eyes, so when I look at you like this, my lid kind of goes away. So if I add eyeliner, it's going to sink it back even more. I don't like this brush. BK Beauty 204. I'm gonna move on to the face and then come back to the lower lash line. The last time I used the L'Oreal Pro Glow, I did enjoy it. I think this is a new everyday favorite. It is beautiful, but I wonder if it's a bit too glowy to last as long as I need this look to last. So I think I'm gonna mix it with this L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear that was left in the bag from doing the bride's makeup for her bridal portraits. I'm using it. I think I'm gonna mix these two together because I used to use this a long time ago when I was younger, and even then I felt like it was a bit too drying for me. I'm gonna mix these two. I'm just gonna mix them on the back of my hand. I also used a sponge last time. I'm gonna use a brush today and see how it goes. I'm gonna take my Milani foundation brush. I don't think there's anything on this, right? I hope not. Ooh, I meant to just do a little bit. I wanted to work in layers, but that just slapped on a bunch of coverage. This next product is a fantastic new find. It's by Lancôme. It's the Tawny Dull Ultra Wear Concealer. I have the shade 330 Bisque, and this is a medium neutral shade, but it has peachy undertones. I love peachy undertones in my concealer. My favorite way to apply concealer is with this Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. It's an eyeshadow brush. Love it for concealer. I would actually like to see what it would do if I didn't powder it. Because sometimes less is more, even in longevity. It's not about piling on a ton of makeup and then a ton of powder. Sometimes the layers being thinner, they mimic your skin. They're closer to your skin. You're not putting on top and on top and on top, if that makes any sense. But it's closer to your skin because it's just a thin layer. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on the nose here and then the chin as well. I had a pimple in the corner of my mouth, so if you can see that, that's where I picked at it. I know that's gross. Let me do my lips. They look gross, and I'm wanting to try this lip liner by Honeybee Gardens. It's in Island Spice. They first sent me an eyeliner by accident and then they replaced it. This came today. I've been wanting to try it. It's just a cinnamon brown color. I hope that I don't already have something just like this. Lip liners are difficult for me. Anytime I want something nude or peachy or coral, it looks like concealer. It's way too light. And then browns are usually that really dark 90s brown, or they lean a little too gray and a little too cool. Ooh, it's dark. It is dark. Okay, well. Ooh, wait. Darker than I thought, but it has more warmth in it than my other brown. Very creamy. It's pretty though, it's pretty. All right, I'm gonna top it with my Marc Jacobs understudy that I wore on my wedding that doesn't exist. This is the most beautiful, perfect, peachy nude lipstick. I have no idea why it doesn't exist anymore. It is doing a bit of that 90s thing where the lip liner is not blending in with the lipstick, and it's very noticeable. I don't mind it. I don't want it this dramatic. So I'll move on and then I can fix the lip situation at the end. There's something I used to do and I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna try it today. I used to take a bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow. It's the deep bronzer. I'm gonna take this, and this brush is by BK Beauty. It's a 111 or a 111. I'm just gonna swirl it in, and what I like to do is kind of start here like I'm going to contour, but then I continue to blend it on my entire face, down the neck, I do the forehead, everything. So almost like I'm using this as a setting powder. I really love my ABH Colé as a setting powder. I take the little triangle and I just set, but my face feels pretty matte. So I feel like I don't need this. I'm gonna try this. What I love this for is if I get too carried away, if I get too carried away with my blush, I like to take this underneath. It almost acts like an eraser. It cleans up, it smooths, it kind of blurs. Starting to love that Island Spice. This side looks so much darker in the viewfinder. I think it's just the shadow. It also looks kind of weird and muddy. I think it's just the shadow. Back to the eyes, back to the Zendo palette. I'm gonna use that beautiful sandy shade and I'm gonna come under the lash line. I'm gonna take a less stubby brush. This is a BK Beauty 207. Wipe it off because I don't know what's on it. And I'm gonna go into the Tati palette. I'm gonna go into Soothe just to kind of buff this out on the lower lash line and blend it. Then I'm probably gonna go into the dark brown and add that as well so that the under eyes aren't too warm. If I go too warm on the under eyes, it makes me look like I don't feel good. And I wanna look like I feel good because I do. I am blending it quite low. I like to come under the baby bag. I just feel like if you have deep set eyes, it looks really pretty. I'm gonna finish off my brows. I use the Arches and Halos brow powder. I have the shade Charcoal. I always just use the lightest shade. This technique is the quickest brow technique that I have found for myself. I'm not saying my brows are amazing, but this is the best I've found. I do feel like I need a little bit of blush. But I tried the L'Oreal Infallible blush in the shade Fearless Coral, and it wasn't as coral as I was hoping. It was more hot pink. So I don't really want a pink cheek. I would love an orangey, peachy blush, but I don't have one. I didn't bring any blush in here, did I? Would it be weird to try to use an eyeshadow as a blush? I have this little angled brush by BK Beauty. It's a 112. I'm gonna try to put it in Relief and Calm. I just want to see what it'll do. I think I messed up. Shouldn't have done that. Dang it. I'm definitely not doing that the day of. I guess that's why we do trial runs. I'm going to take this gold shade in my Hourglass palette. It looks terrible. Will not be doing that, okay? All right, I feel like nothing can undo that. The day of, I think I'm gonna do the ABH Colé powder first, a very thin layer everywhere to set it, then bronze up with the Physicians Formula, and then use this pinky blush or a mix of these two with this gold right here. And I know that'll be much smoother than putting eyeshadow on my face and ruining everything. I might even just bronze up with this. This never lets me down. It's the Fenty Cream Bronzer in Macchiato. I use it all the time. So I could go in with this first, then do a light layer of powder, then the blush. Because this is muddy and weird. For my earrings, I'm gonna be wearing the Ana Luisa coin earrings. I think that's what they're called. Because first of all, they're so shiny. That didn't work. I also didn't really want to wear a hoop. Most of my other earrings are some form of a hoop. I'm also going to be wearing my green pendant. This has kind of become a signature necklace for me. And I know it's a green on green, but I kind of like matchy sometimes. Now I want to show you the shoe options. I have two. They just came and they both work. I'm keeping both because I needed a pair of nude flats anyway. I'm going to show you these first. These have a small little block heel. They have a little bit of texture. And they're just a beautiful cream nude shade. I love these. They're very simple. These are also great. And they have a baby heel. I feel like these are going to look better because of the heel. Because you know, your legs with heels look nice. But these are probably gonna be my new favorite every day. Because these, even with jeans, oh, I love these. What am I doing? Okay. Before I show you the dress, I have a tiny little short story. I tried the dress on at Nordstrom. They only had 2 sizes. Neither were my size, but one was 1 size down from my usual size. You know how sizing is, so I thought, let's just try it. It would only zip to my waist. I have kind of a wider rib cage, so it would zip to my waist, but I couldn't get it up any further. But I put the sleeves on because it's got long sleeves. I put the sleeves on, zipped it as much as I could just to get an idea, and I just knew in my correct size it would be perfect. So I looked online and they had it, and it was marked down. I went ahead and ordered it, but I thought because the size I tried on in store was too small, that it was showing more of this area than I wanted to. And I thought, okay, bigger size, more material, it will just be a V-neck. On the model, it just looks like a V-neck. On me, it's borderline Marilyn Monroe. So this is a little bandeau that I ordered on Amazon. When I told my girls group text, it's me, my 2 sisters, and my mom, I told them the dilemma, and they immediately were sending links to different bandos. So Holly won. You won, Holly. I didn't think this one was gonna work, so I ordered this one and then a plain one. But I love this, and it's comfy to just film in as well. So I'm telling you because this is going to be sticking up in the front of the dress, covering everything, because I like to be covered. The first time I filmed this video, I showed the dress, but I didn't have this bandeau yet, and I tried to put a black tank top under it, but the dress fits so well that even that extra thin layer of tank top, it wouldn't zip. So I was just holding it closed while I was showing you. So today I can show the full, whole picture. I know it's been so long since I've posted. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be able to film again. Probably after the wedding when I can just take a breath. I actually filmed a bunch of videos in February, end of February, beginning of March, but that just seems like so long ago. It's not, but they felt stale, so I wiped the memory card. So if there is content that you love to see from me, leave it down below. If you have a new request, I'd love to hear that as well. I'm open to everything. I have some ideas. I want to share with you my dream summer wardrobe. I would love to have some transparent conversational videos about why it's hard to find your personal style sometimes. I know a lot of people were sad to see the apple shape content leave, so I could do an updated video. Even though I don't dress specifically for my shape anymore, I still like my outfits to be flattering, so I could totally do that. If you want to see it, let me know, and thanks so much for watching.